So we have a question similar, a little bit similar to what we've discussed before. How do I know if I'm ready for initiation? And if I think I'm ready, I would also add, how do I know when I'm ready? You don't really know if you're ready. What you know is that you want to be connected. And what you know is that you want to dedicate yourself to Krishna consciousness. And that's the point at which we become serious about initiation. So initiation, in my mind, initiation means I'm confirming that Krishna consciousness is the most important thing in my life, that I want to take this more seriously than anything. I wanted to give it priority above everything. That's part of what initiation means. Initiation also means that I'm dedicated and willing to follow the orders of my spiritual master in such a way that I perfect myself in this life and that I go back to Godhead in this lifetime. That's how I personally see initiation from my angle of vision, not from the angle of vision of someone who's giving Diksha, but someone who has taken Diksha from Srila Prabhupada. In reflection on what I did and what it meant, is that now we have we often say we have a contract. The Guru's contract is, I will take you back to Godhead. Our contract, what we're signing in for, is that I will follow you so that I can go back to Godhead. Because you've taken that responsibility to deliver me, I am taking the responsibility that I will follow you. And as I've often said, and perhaps you know, it's not always easy to always follow the instructions of the Guru. Sometimes it's inconvenient, sometimes it's austere, sometimes we may even not agree with those instructions, sometimes we may not understand them. But to be a disciple, to take initiation, means that now I'm agreeing to allow you to pull me back to Godhead. Now, yesterday we talked about also taking instructions from other Siksha Gurus that may be more time, place, circumstance appropriate, and that's fine. But what I'm saying is, when we take initiation, then the idea is that, okay, this is what my life is for. I'm not mixing up material life with spiritual life, and it's just an addition to my material life. It's something on the side. It's I go to church on Sunday type thing. No, it's not like that at all. It's like this is the thing. And so that's what it means to take initiation. This is the thing. That level of seriousness. Then we had discussed briefly in another video how upset Prabhupada was when someone took initiation but didn't follow. And what he said was, why did you take initiation if you weren't prepared to follow? He didn't say, why are you not following? What's wrong with you? He said, why did you make the vow if that was not your intention? So a lot of times we make the vows and we think, yes, I'm making them, I'm going to follow them, no problem. And then we find for many devotees it is a problem. So my personal realization is, I think for a lot of us, we don't actually understand what it means to take a vow. And I think if we understood what it meant to take a vow, there would be no question of breaking a vow, even if we were weak. And I've often said that a lot of times when we break our vows, the underlying principle is not the problem in following. It's the problem in commitment. And if I solve that problem with commitment, then if commitment is there, I will be able to follow those vows which are difficult for me, if the commitment goes deep enough. So what I would suggest for those who are not initiated or contemplating, am I ready? First understand the depths of commitment, what that means. I've done some videos on it on my website somewhere. And I have a course that I'm going to be putting up at some point on vows. But the gist of it is that if I commit to something deeply enough, then I will always do it. And so, are you ready to make a commitment to that level that no matter what happens, you will follow it? That's how you know when you're ready. Because that's the most difficult part of the initiation, is keeping that commitment throughout life. Am I the kind of person that can make a commitment and stick with it? If I'm not, if I doubt that, then I should wait and work on myself so I become that kind of person. Am I the kind of person that's true to my word, that when I say something, I do it? Look at yourself, look at your life. Look at all the things you said that you may not have done. When you enter the arena of initiation, you don't want to be that way anymore. You want to be a person of their word. And if you're already initiated, then I would say reflect on the fact that you made these vows. And you may be having trouble now following them, so this advice applies to you now. You have to rededicate yourself. You have to understand what you did when you made that vow. And probably if you're having difficulty following, when you made that vow, you didn't make it deeply enough. You didn't understand what it meant to make a vow. Because I would say, if you did make it deeply enough, you would still be following. So, now if you go back to the video I made, it said that before initiation, if we're following the principles, we're surrendered to our guru, we're actually, in a sense, initiated, we're connected. And there's not this absolute necessity rush that I have to get initiated immediately. And I think we need to keep that in mind, because I see in ISKCON, I see with my own disciples, when can I get initiated? I really want to get initiated, because they feel that that's important for the connection. And I always tell them, that's not what makes the connection. The ceremony does not make it. It's your own dedication. That's the connection, and you should always know. You could be connected from day one when you ask for initiation. If you really are giving yourself to your guru, then at that moment you're actually initiated, much more so than those who formally took initiation, who aren't that deeply connected. So I think that's important. So there's not this mad rush to be initiated. But yes, we should be initiated when we're ready. And we lastly want to remember that Prabhupada said that when we take initiation, the Guru takes our karma. And even if you say, well, I don't have any karma because I'm chanting Hare Krishna, I'm seeing the deities and so forth. Okay, we could go with that also, that idea. But when you commit sin after initiation, that sinful reaction falls upon your Guru. So don't take initiation unless you're certain that you can follow, because otherwise he'll have to suffer. So these are some considerations, both for those who have taken initiation and who have not, and those who will be guiding others to take initiation. Yes, we want you to move forward, connect more deeply, and if you can engage in deity worship. If you're Brahmanically inclined and qualified, yes, then go forward that way. I'm not saying this to discourage any of that. It's all important. I'm just saying it's no great credit to take initiation and not follow. Now, the last thing I want to say, and many of my godbrothers have said this, and I agree with this, that when there's this connection, when there's initiation, it gives the guru an opportunity to help the disciple. And so sometimes they say, I'm not sure if I should get initiated. But in any case, that connection with the guru is always helpful. So many gurus feel that the disciple who got initiated will ultimately be successful because of the connection they made. But I would also say that many devotees come and they're hesitant to accept a guru because they feel they're not ready for initiation. And I would say no, that you should accept guru. You should accept the shelter as a Siksha guru or as an aspiring disciple someday, because that connection will give you the strength to become qualified to take the initiation. So don't think because at this moment I don't feel qualified, I can't connect with someone and begin the surrendering process. No, that surrendering process will help you. That connection will help you. That guidance will help you become qualified. Hare Krishna.